I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right.
We are back, everybody. Currently, right now, Toy Fair 2025 is taking place right now, and there's a lot of companies gathering up to showcase their latest and upcoming figures for this year and next year. As you can see by the image, right now Hiya Toys is showcasing their latest figures. One of them, surprisingly, is King Ghidorah 2.0. So at first glance, a lot of people might be thinking this is a special color variant, and that is incorrect. It's based on the realistic version of King Ghidorah. Now the only difference is that this is a charging up Ghidorah, with the gravity effect coming through the necks. If you look very closely at the neck section, you see that effect that we saw within the movie where you see Ghidorah charging from the bottom all the way to the top. Now, if you compare this to the original one, interesting enough, the original one, while it did have a realistic pale color, this one is a little bit more vibrant. But if you look very closely, a major difference that I've been calling for the past year is for an upgraded Ghidorah. A lot of people didn't believe me that this would happen, and look, everything that I call eventually ends up happening. Like I said, I'm not sure if Hiya Toys watches my videos. They take the feedback that I give them, and just in general, people within the community, right? Because Ghidorah, the original one, obviously had problems with articulation. It could have been done a lot better, and we saw that with the classic Ghidorah and the Mechagodzilla. Now it's being applied to this 2019 version, which is very great. Now look at the necks. Notice how they bent further down than any other figure with the past versions that we had, which is the original and the special variant. Here we go again. That's why I can never freaking record. Perfect. Anyways, from what I can tell from the videos and the pictures that we saw for Ghidorah, it doesn't look like the sculpture itself got any upgrades. Rather, it's a paint job variant difference, and the ball joints from inside are definitely improved, which allow this figure to have better articulation, moving left to right, up and down, and more in a natural dragon-like pose, like we currently see with their classic Ghidorah and Mecha King Ghidorah. Personally, I would have loved to have seen a resculpt with the neck section because it does look a little bit awkward, but if it is receiving those upgraded ball joints and the articulation is miles improved, by all means, this is a win for me. Now, just to verify, I took a picture of my classic King Ghidorah, and we're going to do a side-by-side comparison. Now, I got all three necks. I pushed the necks downwards as much as I could, and you can see there's definitely a drastic difference with the articulation. This new version can definitely look downwards a lot better than the original one. Now, of course, this is going to vary on everybody's figure. Looking very closely, the middle section can definitely not look downwards like the one that you currently see, which is a big improvement. I also hope this is definitely an improvement for the tail section, because for some reason mine keeps falling off over and over, and just the ball joints were not good in general. I would have loved to have seen a rework with the wings to use bendy wire, but it is what it is. For the first time ever, we do get to see the first ever reveal for the upgraded Godzilla 2003, or Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla Kiryu. And another interesting figure that we get to see is Super Mechagodzilla, or otherwise known as Mechagodzilla 2. Both of those figures had to be retooled, reworked, because there was a lot of backlash. Just in general, the sculptures for both of them look a little bit off, and especially for Godzilla, there was a lot of errors when it comes to the proportion. The head was too giant, the dorsal plates look off, the body, there was just a lot of inconsistencies happening within the body area, and our feedback made a difference. So now that we do look at both of those figures, there's definitely a big improvement. I love what I see with Godzilla. There's hardly anything that I don't like about that figure now. I think the main concern with those problems do reflect a solution with this figure right here. The proportion section especially, everything looks perfect now. And for Mechagodzilla, same thing. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Another possible upgrade that we do see, it's hard to tell, but based on that photo, Godzilla GMK seems to have that jaw problem fixed. If you recall with that figure, underneath the jaw section there was a weird gap or a weird articulation section that just made the overall function and look of that Godzilla look a little bit awkward. From those photos, it doesn't seem to be visible, but then again, it just could be the angle. We need better pictures where we can definitely see underneath the jaw section or from the bottom section to get a better idea. But if it is true that it's now gone and it's been fixed, this is definitely a win. Now we're going to move on to the classic Ghidorah and the Mecha King Ghidorah. Both of them are fully painted now, and oh my god, they look freaking awesome. You cannot tell me those figures look fantastic. The paint job, the accuracy, everything about them looks A tier. They did a fantastic job, and when you compare the classic Ghidorah to the monster arts, both of them look great, but the monster arts was a little bit inaccurate, or it's outdated now because of how many years it's been. And I honestly think that the Hiya version just looks better with the head sculpture and the paint job, and the details are much closer to what we saw with the suit version of that specific monster. Mecha King Ghidorah also looks fantastic. The metallic paint job, all the small details, the wings, both of them look to be big figures. Probably a little bit larger than the King Ghidorah 2019, but so far, fantastic reveals. Unfortunately, no Godzilla Evolve, and I've said that multiple times, it will probably not be shown until later on, and it looks like I've been yet again proven correct on most of the things that I do say. And we do get to see Shimu, very beautiful statue. I like the colors. Hopefully we get something similar to that sort of paint job, if not even better. But one interesting thing that we did not know about Kong, we're moving on to those figures. We're talking about the Beast Club Kong. That one apparently has articulation on the mechanical arm, which is crazy. This is by far miles better than what Monster Arts has done. The Monster Arts looks great, don't get me wrong, but the fact that Hiya Toys said, you know what, hold my beer, we're gonna take this a step even better in every single way, we're going to add articulation. There's a video, and I forgot to say this, but I want to give credits for all those pictures, photos, specifically coming from the channel Heisenberg. Go check them out. Fantastic YouTube channel. He's the one that got the pictures and the videos, and that's how we know this information. But apparently, yes, the Beast Club will have articulation. You can mimic what Kong would do when he's ready to boost the mechanical arm. And for all of this, I gotta give props to Hiya Toys for going beyond their limits, for doing the smallest things to make them even better. And they didn't have to do this. Like Monster Arts, they could have left the arm as it is, but they said, you know what can we do to improve and give a better product? That is fantastic. I'm very excited. I'm very proud of everything that we've seen at Toy Fair coming from Hiya Toys. Especially for those upgraded figures, they definitely listened to our feedback. And the fantastic thing about all of this is this wouldn't be possible without this whole community. Our communication, our feedback, our love for this franchise is what makes this company even better. The inspiration they take and everything, it's just fantastic, honestly. And look, I told you guys in the previous videos, I'm not sure if they do watch my videos, but I'm beginning to think that it just cannot be a coincidence when I start to talk about a certain topic and within the few next days, weeks, or months, they answer directly to those critics. And I'm going to say this again, people who are influencers, YouTubers, if you do any sort of content and you have a very high count for subscribers or followers, use that power for the good. Use your voice to give feedback because all of this is being watched. They watch and they listen to what we have to say. And a lot of people always doubt me. They always doubt me and I always prove them wrong. Remember how many times for my review, a lot of people were saying, oh no, you're just a hater for saying that the necks need improvement. They're perfectly fine. I've been calling out for a big improvement to happen with Ghidorah and it finally did. It finally did pay off. And if any of this could be done, look at Godzilla 2014. Most people love that figure. Half of the people don't. And there's problems. There definitely is problems. What happened with the newer version? Those problems appear to be gone. And remember, this is my personal opinion on those figures. Anything you think, if you love a certain figure and I don't, that's okay. Everybody is free to choose the figures that they like and don't like, and that's the beauty of this. But currently I don't have much complaints. Everything that we saw at Toy Fair looks fantastic, from the older figures to the newer figures, the sculptures, the paint job, the statues, the accessories. Okay, probably the only gripe that I have about this whole thing is we didn't get to see the articulated Shimu. Like, what happened to that? It's supposed to release this month, and so close to release, we don't see a final product version. Kind of weird. And of course, the other one would be, I know a lot of people are going to ask, where is Godzilla Evolved, the articulated version? Well, apparently it's not here also. It's probably going to get showcased at a different event later down the road. Remember, this figure is getting completely revamped, so it's going to take some time. They're probably not ready to showcase that prototype yet, or a fully painted version, but eventually it has to happen. And the future is looking bright. I hope that you liked my opinion. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. And there's going to be more figures from other companies, like from Playmates and other stuff like that people might be interested. You guys can check that out.